CYT-Crypto episode. I'm Stephen Aitchison, and today we've got some issues again with going live. Hopefully this is live, but welcome back to another CYT-Crypto. We're going to be looking at the markets, what's happened over the weekend with Bitcoin price and the markets overall as well, what's going to happen with the alts. And we're going to be asking the big question, obviously, is this the end of the kind of dollar as well as a reserve, a world reserve currency? And what does that mean for crypto? What could it mean for crypto as well? So Mark Carney has been meeting with a bunch of people on Friday, and he's kind of talked about cryptocurrency being a world reserve currency instead of the dollar. Dollar's falling down all the time. A lot of things going on in the world just now. Over the next couple of years, it's just going to be a bit of carnage in the marketplaces and stock markets across the world. I think that's what's going to happen, but it's as good. There's just going to be a shift. It's going to be a shift. It's not the end of the world or anything. There's just going to be a shift. That's what I think. But first, are we live or not? I'm just going to see if we're live. I don't know if we are or not. Let me know in the comments just now if you're watching just now. Let me know in the comments just now if we're live or not. It doesn't say we're live. Nope, I don't know. One sec. Yeah, I'm just going to presume we are live. Let me know in the comments if everything's okay. Gordy Boy's saying we are live. Okay, so I'm just going to jump over. And we'll just go to, I think there's something wrong, but we'll just jump over anyway. Chat area. Okay, we have about 5 people in, which is not normal, so it leads me to believe there is something wrong again, unless everybody's just capitulated and just stopped listening altogether. The Hawthorns is in, Gordy Boy is in, Crypto Don Juan is with us, good to see you. B is in house, Debbie C is saying good morning as well, B is saying live, Gordy Boy is saying we're live as well, so it must be okay. So it's okay just now. So if you're in and watching just now, hit that like button just now. That'd be fantastic if you could do that. It helps the channel. I'm just going to see, there's more people coming in just now, so I don't know if we had problems at the beginning. Okay, we'll just continue as normal then. Okay, so look at the markets first of all, see what the hell is going on. Bitcoin price did go up over the weekend, but then it came back down, then it went back up again. It just can't make its mind up just now. Okay, we've got an overall market capitalization of $269 billion. We've got Bitcoin dominance at 68.8%, still high. Bitcoin itself is up to 10,354. We'll see who the winners and losers are. OneChain had a brilliant run over the weekend. If you're in OneChain, that's fantastic. If you got into that, it was up hugely. We're going to be looking at the Binance coins as well. Synthetics network token is up 15%. That's the only two in double-digit greens. Tomo Chain has joined Binance as well. That's up 4.45%, but it did go up much higher than that. It's done brilliantly. I think Tomo Chain is one to watch for the future as well, although maybe not just now because it's just jumped up big time. Who's the losers? ABBC coin, Egretia is down. Factum, Dogecoin, Engine, Basic Attention, Raven, Rain, Bitcoin Gold, and GX Chain as well, all down in the red at the moment. We'll go to all the cryptocurrencies and see who's done well over the last 24 hours. It's traded over $10,000. We have Xeon, traded $226,000. It's up 202%. Market cap of 2 million. So it was a market cap of probably about 500,000 before that. Is that right? 500? No, not quite. About 750 or something before that. So it was under a million anyway. So that's up 202%. QReddit is up 154%. I haven't heard of that as well. 1.1 million market capitalization. Volume is 119,000. Thornex, we don't know the kind of market cap, so about 112,000. Doc is up 72%, which is done brilliant. If you're on that in Binance, done 8.6 million volume. I don't know if there's any news out, but that's 5 million market capitalization. So it was about 3 million before it jumped up. And that's it. TouchCon, 71% up. Transcodium still going up again, as well as NoCoin. Veritasium is up 50% after going down. Star Chain as well is 217% over the week. What else has done well over the week? Swace, I haven't heard of Swace, 79,000 volume, so it's not that much volume. Blockport is up 48%. I thought that was dead and buried. Blockport up 25% over the last 24 hours. And okay, so that's it. Just now, we'll just see if anybody else is in. Just see if this is up and running. I've got 15 people in just now. Okay, Justin Churchill, it's bank holiday. That might be why less people. It could be that as well, Debbie. Mitch Dieter is in. Half of England got hangovers, bank holidays. Yeah, I was out yesterday as well for a wee one because of the sunshine. Yesterday, beautiful yesterday. All over the country actually. Well, I think most places of the country. But it was gorgeous. I think we got up to 27 degrees or something. Honest Crypto Journey is in the house. Good to see you. Okay, so we'll look at crypto bubbles. This is over the last 24 hours. You can see there's a couple stand out there. Synthetics Network up 15%. One Chain up 17%. On the week, 108% on the week. ABBC down. That's a big one that's down. And you can see some others. So overall, we're kind of 50-50 there, but we've got bigger reds there as well. Over the last hour, what we're doing over the last hour, looking much more green. Got XLM, Stellar up 3%, Bitcoin up 7%, One Chain still going up. Energy, need to look more into that as well. ABBC still going down. XZC or Zcoin going down, one of the privacy coins going down. Ren going down as well. Okay, just read a report on Ren as well. Symmetry, I don't know if you've checked out Symmetry before. I kind of mentioned this last week as well, and I've done a separate video on it. Symmetry have just released a report on Ren as well. So if you want to check out kind of really amazing research in the crypto space, you can go to Symmetry. There's a link down below if you want to check that out as well. Symmetry is a brilliant kind of platform. Right, I better not go to, that's the reports they've got out just now. It should be kind of showing you that just now, I don't suppose. So they've got a lot of brilliant reports out. I've kind of signed up myself, as I said last week, but I'll definitely check that out. And if you do kind of sign up for it, I do get a kind of small affiliate commission, but I only use it because I do love it as well, and that's why I'm recommending it to you as well. So there's a link down below for Symmetry, so click on the first link down below if you want to check that out as well. Okay, Fear and Greed Index is at 41 at the moment, so we're kind of middling for the Fear and Greed Index. We said last week that because the Fear and Greed Index was down at 5, that means it could possibly go up, or Bitcoin could possibly go up in the next couple of months to kind of double what it was, up to $20,000 because of past low Fear and Greed Index, when the fear was kind of really kind of at 5 there. It's always kind of went up for the Bitcoin price. So we'll see if that comes true over the next couple of weeks and months. But Bitcoin itself, what's Bitcoin doing itself, has just been up and down this weekend. Been a strange one this weekend. We've got a symmetrical triangle, a smaller symmetrical triangle. We've got one, a big one, that I'm not showing there actually, but we've got a smaller one within this one. It kind of hit that perfectly. And this is the support line for it. It's not broken that yet. And this is a smaller one going back to the 6th of August. We've got the kind of resistance there as well, but it should break out before the end of this month. So break down or break out, but overall trend, we're still kind of going up there. Usually we go up in a trend with a symmetrical triangle, but we'll need to wait and see what happens. It just seems to have got, the bulls are kind of they're fighting hard, but the bears are still fighting there as well to try and get it down below that 10,000 again and keep it below there, but it's not managing just now. So we need to wait and see what happens with that, but it's looking okay for Bitcoin just now, but it was looking okay the other day as well, and it just kind of shot down from 11,400 a couple of weeks ago down to 9,700. So you can never tell with Bitcoin, you really can't. You can look at these symmetrical triangles all day long and the crossovers. Crossovers, I think, is the best indicator on the short time frame for that as well. Something else somebody was talking about before we go on to the main story in the kind of premium group. If you're trading just now, there's always trading opportunities. We'll just have a look at Binance just now. So DOC, if we look at DOC, so say you got into DOC, so this is if you're trading just now, what do? Do you just go for the 5% and put, because somebody was saying, okay, when you go into it, set a kind of limit in your head and say, okay, I'm going to sell at that price, I'm going to take my 5%. But what you can do is a trailing stop loss. Remember your trailing stop losses. So if you go in, say you got in round about 55 or something for DOC, you go in at 55 and it starts going up. What do you do in that situation? Do you just take the 5% and just be grateful for taking 5% out of your kind of market like this? Or what you can do alternatively, every percentage point it goes up. So at 50, say at 50, if it goes up 1 Satoshi, that's 2%. It's kind of gone up. It's gone up 2%. So you move your stop loss up by 2%. So every percentage point it goes up, move your stop loss up. So if you went in at 50 and say your stop loss at 45, once it starts going up, move your stop loss up to 47, up to 49, up to 51. Keep moving it up, keep moving it up, keep moving it up. And that way you're going to catch a lot. I'll just have a look at this. You're going to catch a lot of the rise without being stopped out. So 101, it came down to 89 again, so that's 11%, 10% drop. So you could have rode it all the way up to about here, about 101. If you set a 5% stop loss at 95 or something, you'd have been stopped out, but you'd have got a big portion of the run. So instead of only getting 5%, you would have got about 60, 70% of the run there. And obviously you can go back in as well. So that's what I suggest to do if you're trading. Just be really careful when you're trading. So it's good to set a price limit in your head of where you're going to get out when you're actually trading as well. But the better idea to do it, if it moves up quickly, is to move your stop loss up. Just do a trailing stop loss. Now you can do a trailing stop loss automatically on Binance unless you're using an API like 3 commas or something that uses your API, your Binance API. So you can't really do that unless you're using a third-party kind of app. But you can manually do it, so you have to keep an eye on it. That's the only thing. So you have to really keep a close eye on your trade as well. So that's what I would do if you're trading. Just now, there's always trading opportunities, brilliant trading opportunity there for DOC. If you look on the 4 hourly, crossed over on the 4 hourly at 53, you'd have probably got in maybe 55 if you're to get in there and just wait on it crossing back down over. So you could still be in it just now, but obviously you take some profits. If that doubled up, you'd just take 50% out and let the rest ride. Fuel is moving up just now. Crossed over at 27, say 27, around about 27 there. It's up at 33 just now. That's a good 22%. WPR is moving as well. DNT starting to move, crossed over. There's a lot of Binance coins that have crossed over in the 4 hourly, and I called a lot of them yesterday, but because the Bitcoin price shot up so quickly, went up about $700, all the alts came down, hit the stop losses unfortunately, but they're starting to go back up again, which is not good. But one chain, if you look at this, crossed over about 2,165 you could have got in, could have had 174% there before coming back down. And again, moving your stop loss up as you go up, trailing stop loss, that'd have been the best bet for you doing that. And when it's going up so quickly as well, you can afford to have a little wiggle room. So instead of saying a 5% stop loss, say set it at 10% because you know it's going to come down, up and down quite quickly. Because it came down here, 4,000, what percentage? So it got to there, came down 13%, so you'd have been stopped out even if it was 10% before going back up again. So you're going to get these stop outs. So this is on the 15 minute. You could have gone somewhere here. So you wouldn't have really got stopped out if you're on 10% until here. So if you got in around about the 2000 area, You could have had a good 80%, so you could trade that quite successfully, even on the 15 minute. If you're going in the 15 minute, what I normally recommend doing is wait for the crossover in the 15 minute if you're trading on a 15 minute, and wait for the cross down before getting back out. So you wouldn't have caught it at the very top, or you wouldn't have got out at the very top. But if it's gone up 100%, you take 50% out and just let the rest ride. And that's definitely what we'll do in that situation as well, if it's gone up so much. Mike is in the house. Welcome to you. Stephen King is in. Good morning to you. In your title you have new R for crypto instead of age. Ah, right, what have we got? New R. Right, I don't know what it was meant to be. I'm sure it had something else. No, it shouldn't have been that. Should have been something else. Thanks for pointing that out, Stuart. Appreciate it. Andreas is in the house as well. Okay, so this kind of main story, and this is from Mark Carney from the Bank of England. So Bank of England Governor Mark Carney has made a radical recommendation for central banks that the US dollar be replaced with a Libra-like digital reserve currency. Saying Libra-like, and Libra-like, I'm not suggesting it is Libra, i.e. Facebook Libra, but Libra-like digital reserve currency. Now, this is not about kind of Libra, this is about the big radical shift in thinking that the dollar be dropped and replaced with a cryptocurrency, which would make sense in this day and age. It would make sense, obviously, with and I'm not saying Mark Carney is saying that all governments are corrupt and everything that's going on and just printing of money from the Federal Reserve and shit like that as well, but it would make sense for a cryptocurrency to come in here and be the kind of reserve currency, a world reserve currency. So the dollar is the preferred world currency just now. This is what, and when it officially became the kind of world currency of choice around about 1944 or something like that, I think it was that when the Bretton Woods kind of agreement was signed. Round about then it became the world currency, and that's when all the kind of big, the governments around the world started stocking up on dollar because it was the reserve currency. That's why the dollar kind of went up in value, obviously as well. But now a lot of countries are saying, okay, we're going to drop the dollar, the petrodollar as well. Lots of things going on in the world where a lot of people are not liking America at the moment. But the dollar in particular is going to suffer, which means it's going to suffer. America is going to suffer, but that means a huge knock-on effect for the rest of the world as well. So this is Mark Carney. He's suggesting that the dollar be replaced. And speaking at the Federal Reserve's annual Jackson Hole Symposium on August the 23rd, Carney called for a dramatic shift in global monetary policy that would see central banks taking a greater interest in digital currencies, such as Facebook's forthcoming Libra. Now he's talking about taking an interest in it. They're not saying they should kind of buy into Facebook Libra. They're talking about taking an interest basically in cryptocurrency and something like Facebook's Libra. And Binance are coming out with a similar coin as well to rival Facebook's Libra. The Bank of England governor's proposal would replace the US dollar as a world reserve currency with a digital alternative. While it was unclear if Carney was actually suggesting that Libra could be used to fill the void, his intent was to spur interest in a fiat alternative for global reserves. I think this is where we're heading just now. It's going to take a long time, but the governor of the Bank of England is suggesting this is a huge step for cryptocurrency, a huge step. So Carney argued that proactively replacing the dollar with a digital coin substitute would be preferable to allowing another national currency usurp its status, such as the Chinese renminbi as well. So obviously they're looking for that not to happen, because China would really have control of cryptocurrencies if that did happen. He pointed to the global economic uncertainty in part being generated by deteriorating US trade relations. So he said the combination of heightened economic policy uncertainty, outright protectionism, and concerns that further negative shocks could not be adequately offset because of limited policy space is exacerbating the disinflationary bias in the global economy. So a lot of things going on with governments around the world just now, and thinking about cryptocurrency would make logical sense. But is this the start of the end of the dollar as well? Now, this is a big, big thing. if the dollar is not the world reserve currency, that kind of puts governments into a tailspin. Because they're not going to go straight into cryptocurrency and look at cryptocurrency, okay, that's it, we're going to buy into Bitcoin, or we're going to buy into Facebook Libra, or we're going to buy into this. They're not going to do that. Change doesn't happen overnight. In the kind of finance world, in the banking industry, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes years for change to happen. Now, that change may have started already. It needs a shift in thinking first before change can actually happen. So that change may have started already with the shift in thinking, but it's still going to take years before there's actually a change over to another world reserve. But this could be the start of something huge, but it could also be the start of kind of not good things happening, kind of the world and the world of finance, traditional finance. As we know, the stock market's going down, currency going down as well, US dollar. We've started to see it already. US dollar, kind of the value of it just is going down just now as well. So it's not looking good for the US dollar. It's not looking good for the US, to be honest. And if we're not careful, China could be the kind of global kind of leader for cryptocurrencies and could have a world reserve currency as well. So we have to be really, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad or a good thing. I'm just saying we have to be really careful. And I think all the major currency, all the major governments around the world have to look at what's going on in the world just now, and kind of the unrest and uneasiness and the trust that they've lost from us and the people. And this is why people are getting more and more into cryptocurrencies, because they've lost trust, they've lost faith in the governments, they've lost faith in the kind of banking system as well. And there's a new alternative, and that is cryptocurrency. So it'd be nice to hear your thoughts on that as well. Just one last thing I was kind of looking at before we go. It lauded the technologies for its efficiency in payments and cross-border transactions. Now, remember, Mark Carney is kind of tied to Ripple in kind of a way as well. So he's not kind of mentioned Ripple or XRP or anything like that, but he's tied to kind of them as well. The most high-profile of these has been Libra, a new payments infrastructure based on the international stablecoin, fully backed by reserve assets and a basket of currencies, including the US dollar, the euro and sterling, and it could be exchanged between users on messaging platforms and with participating retailers. So he's seen the kind of writing on the wall, Mark Carney, and it could be that he's in for a new position in the future when the cryptocurrencies do become more powerful. That's just what I'm saying there. And I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, as I said, but there is change coming. It's unsettling. It's going to be unsettling for a lot of governments, bankers, and the whole system. And for us as well, to a degree. So it'd be good to hear your thoughts on that. If you want me to look at any charts or anything, just let me know. There's not a lot of people here just now, 27 people watching, but if you want me to have a look at any charts or you want to talk about anything in particular, let me know as well. Right, we have G-Slick is in the house, Jason Clayton has joined us, Tony P is in. Honest Crypto Journey can just keep your stop loss slightly below the fast EMA if it's acting as support as the price rises. Hopefully stops you getting stopped out too early. Yeah. So you can have a percentage, or you could use that technique as well that Stuart's suggesting there on Honest Crypto Journey, saying that. XRP will be world currency. Could be. Nulls Bull is in the house, Marcus Jafari is in, Gordy Boy, think a Libra or a Libra type crypto will come out regulated and Bitcoin may go into the wilderness if a replacement is identified. That's kind of what I'm afraid of, to be honest, that Bitcoin isn't the king anymore. That's kind of what I'm afraid of for the future as well. But it's just one of those thoughts you kind of go in the back of your head. It's like kind of going into Bitcoin and buying into Bitcoin and being afraid that it's going to go down, so you don't get into it too much. Or there's just a lot of things kind of going on just now. You think, oh, this could be a big change, and this is one of them. Honest Crypto Journey, China really has its act together. I did a video on the China coin, which is government backed. USA needs to wake up big time. Big time. If it's going to, it could be one of the kind of, it'd be classed as a third world country in terms of cryptocurrency if it really doesn't get its act together, and it will be a third world country. What we call third world countries just now, USA is going to be a third world country when it comes to cryptocurrency. Mark Innes, hi Steve, great insights mate, thank you very much Mark, good to see you here buddy. High Points Drifter is in as well. Okay, we'll just have a look at Binance, what's happening on Binance just now. Okay, so DOC still up 54% from where it was, but it's coming down a wee bit now. That's a big jump. So I keep on saying this, you're going to get a lot of these jumps. So there's always going to be trading opportunities. We just have to be careful and take a look out for them as well. Trouble is, a lot of coins on Binance are crossing over on the 4 hourly. So it's going to be difficult to catch the ones that's going to jump by 50, 20, 30, 40, 50%. Because a lot of them are crossing over just now. Where is Win? It's still not doing well. PundyX. Still not doing well. OneChain, that's had a big kind of jump up and subsequent kind of drop just now, but it's coming back up again. Crossed over, yeah, 2000. Could have got it on the crossover there. And about 2,268 with 154%. Been fantastic that. PHB is coming up as well. Not seen that for a while. Crossed over. See, a lot of them are crossing over in the 4 hourly. That crossed over back in last week, a couple of weeks ago. The 45% jump. That's coming back up again. So it's bounced off the 50 EMA basically. RCN, kind of recommended that before. I don't know where we are on that. This is the calls that were made. Kind of made them some of them yesterday and have come down actually because of that. And the drawdown is not good. The drawdown, the biggest drawdown is 13%, so it had been stopped out before we got up. So that wasn't good at all. So timed that totally wrong. So I made a bunch of calls yesterday in the premium group, and then subsequently about 15, 20 minutes later, Bitcoin shot up, which brought all the alts down. But the drawdown is not huge, but it's still enough to stop a lot of the calls out, unfortunately. Cocos is up. It went up to 21. So called that yesterday and thinking, okay, this is the right time for this to go up, and it could still be a good one to rise as well. So just keep an eye out for that. It's up to 1920 now. So I think this could be on the rise. So keep an eye out for it. I think somebody mentioned that CryptoLark had done a video on it. I'm going to check that out after this as well. But just looking at the trading patterns with it, I think this could be due for a rise as well. So called that, I think, at 19 yesterday. Yeah, 19. It did get up to 21. So keep an eye on that over the next couple of days and weeks. That's it. There's not much else rising at the minute. Who's down? Encash. That did go up. So most of the alts did go up, and then it's just come back down with the Bitcoin price. That did go up to 17 before coming back down. Tomo had an interesting one as well. Tomo Chain, that was a brilliant rise from Tomo Chain when it kind of came on. And it was at 5,000, kind of 300. So I'd seen it at kind of 5,200 when it's going back up again, because it came right down to about 4,900. Yeah, 5,000. Started looking at it and thought, should I call it? Should I call it? And I didn't call it. Should have called it kind of 5,000 when I said I was going to, or thought I was going to. But I think that's a long way to go for Tomo Chain. I think that's going to do well for the future as well. Bitcoin has had its time, too slow now. I still think we could get it quicker, and still, because I think a lot of people associate cryptocurrency with Bitcoin, or associate Bitcoin with cryptocurrency as a main one. So I think it still needs to be the king for the moment. It could be replaced in the future. Hi Steve, what do your spider senses say about Cocos? Well, that's what I said, kind of mentioned in the kind of calls. So just show you in the calls. So chart used, this is a risky play, but I get the feeling this is about to take off. The charts say otherwise. So charts say it's going to go down. Charts say otherwise, so it may be wise to stay out and see if it goes lower, but got to at least listen to the spidey senses. So spidey senses, this is where it's coming from. It's not based on charts, this kind of cost play or call, but it's purely based on spidey senses and kind of just a sense of that's going to go up. So that's what it's saying, Stephen King. So it's just purely the spidey senses that say it's going to go up. Charlie C 1100 is in. Good morning to you. Tony P, BTC limited supply is key to store of value. That needs to be the basic rule of any crypto that becomes a world currency. Yep. Otherwise, you can't just print more. Where have we seen that before? LOL. Yes, exactly. So we don't want to go down the same route as the Federal Reserve and all that crap as well. So that's why I still think BTC should be and will be the kind of store of value, and it's going to get quicker. There's going to be, imagine the technology this time next year that's going to make Bitcoin, I was saying this kind of last week as well, that's going to make Bitcoin fast. It's going to be as quick as XRP, it's going to be as quick as any cryptocurrency out there. It's still going to be a store of value. More and more people are going to get back into it. A lot of people are saying it's dead just now, and it should be dead, but it's not going to be. If everybody's saying that, brilliant, get back into it. Big time. How's RBN USD looking? That will pump again at some point. We'll look at RBN. Right, this is on a 15-minute. We will look on the 4-hourly first of all. 4-hourly could bounce off the 50 EMA. Let's have a look. I tend to look at crossovers. So coming up for the 88% mark, that's from the crossover, but from the bottom. Yeah, 61.8% level as well, that's a classic, so it could bounce from here actually. So if you're looking to trade, that could be a good trade, looking at the Fibonacci retracement levels, and it could bounce from here. A nice bounce could be good for Raven, or Ravencoin, sorry, I'm saying Raven. Michael Jones, hello from Alaska. Good morning to you. Good to see you here. Mark Innes, Cocos, I'm in that. Looks okay project. Huge supply though. Yeah, as Honest Crypto Journey. Question is, will be a store of value coin like BTC or a utility coin like XRP as a world coin? My thoughts is utility will win out in the long run. Your thoughts? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think it's going to be a utility coin. It's going to be quicker. It's going to be, a lot of people don't use it because of the cost and because of the how long it takes to get through. But that's going to change. That's going to change. So there's people working on BTC all the time, obviously, and they've not got a specific team or a head of the team or anything like that, but there's people working on it all the time. And it's going to be quicker. It's going to be, the technology is going to totally change. It's going to be much quicker than it is just now. So it's going to be both, I think. It's going to be both used as a store of value and utility token as well, i.e. for payments, to make payments. So I do think that is coming. However, I think primarily it's going to be used as a store of value because, think about it, would you buy a car using Bitcoin just now? When it's at $10,000, when everybody says it's going to go up to 300,000, you wouldn't buy a car just now with Bitcoin. You definitely wouldn't, because you think, okay, I've just paid, instead of paying $10,000 for a car or $20,000 for a car, you've essentially paid $300,000 for your car. So a lot of people are not going to use it. A lot of people are going to think that way, and they're not going to use it for a utility token. But micropayments, I think, is going to be used for micropayments, but like XRP as well. So it could be used for that as well. Like buying a cup of coffee, you're not going to mind paying $3 for a cup of coffee, and then in the future you say, oh, okay, I paid $18 for a cup of coffee. It's going to be a little bit different. But buying big things with Bitcoin is going to be, you wouldn't buy a house with Bitcoin just now, for example, or a car or any of the big things. But I wouldn't mind paying with Bitcoin if it was micropayments and it's going to go through really, really quick. So I think as a micropayment product, it's going to be really used as a utility token, and it's going to be used as a store of value as well. So both, I'd say, Stuart. Tony P, definitely BTC store of value as it stands, with other cryptos valued against it. BTC could become the new gold standard. I think that's where we're headed. I hope that's where we're headed. I hope Bitcoin doesn't go away. I really hope Bitcoin doesn't go away, because for me, that would kind of end cryptocurrency for me, because then it's a kind of clamour for superiority for the other cryptos as well. What's going to become the main kind of crypto? And I think Bitcoin is because it was the first one out, because it's what started this whole revolution, and it is a revolution we're in just now. It would just kind of change the whole landscape. For me, if Bitcoin was to go away, and I don't think it will go away. But as a store of value, yes, and as a kind of utility token, yes, as well. And it seems counterintuitive to say, well, we should be using it as a micro payment, when we don't want to use it as a macro payment, like for cars and houses and stuff like that. I think if Bitcoin was to reach $100,000, $150,000, or $300,000, then that's when we might start paying for houses with it, for cars with it, and stuff like that as well. But not until we reach some level of kind of stability with Bitcoin. The stability is not there just now. It's just not there at all. So I definitely wouldn't use it. Bitcoin wallets will be on the Antiques Roadshow in a few years, yeah. There will be indeed. I think that's it for just now. What time are we on? 9:10. What other stories was I going to look at? Yeah, it was MoneyGram driving major increase in XRP volume, says Ripple executive. We'll not have a look at the kind of big ones either. XRP BTC, we'll have a look, see what's going on. Still going down, 2628. It's not catching a break just now. I still think we're going to go up big time for XRP. It's just not the time just now. Ethereum, same again. Here it's 2-yearly low, or the Satoshi value, that is. Litecoin, BTC, same again. And they're all looking good last week for a rise, but Bitcoin is just so volatile just now. It's just everybody's just doesn't know what to do just now. How's Cardano doing? Our Cardano, 481. 396 was the lowest. 481 is still above the 4 hourly on the 4 hourly. Still above the crossover. Just get rid of these, that was old ones. It could get a bounce off the 50 EMA here, or we could just drop again. So it's just not the time for the bigger alts just now. Just not time, because all eyes are on BTC and what's happening at BTC and the kind of lower Satoshi value alts as well. B, thanks Steve, have a good day all. Thanks for joining me B, good to have you here. Devinder Singh, Bitcoin has zero to utility and was a store of value. Gold is far better store of value, at least you can hold gold in your hands. XRP will dominate. Yeah, a lot of differing opinions obviously here. Obviously you could argue all day about the kind of values of it, and gold as well, you could argue why that could be good as well. Crypto Don Juan saying thank you for joining me DJ, good to have you here mate. Okay, we'll leave it there just now I think, and bid you a farewell, and I will see you tomorrow same time same place. Until then, namaste, take care, bye now.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.